Good evening. We do have a member of the Minister Alliance with us this evening. Would you please come forward?
Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for the opportunity we have to come together. God, I pray for wise counsel, wise decisions. God, I pray that you guide our footsteps. God, we love you. We praise you for everything. In one name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call the October 16th, 2023 Board of Aldermen meeting to order. City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Kelly Netto. Rachel Kilmer.
Here.
Jeremy Taylor.
Here.
Jim Shrout.
Here.
Pam Pope.
Here.
Tracy Newcomer.
Here.
And Mayor Dana Webb.
Here, thank you. The next item on the agenda is new business deletions or continuances. We do not have any of those tonight, so we will move on to public comments. Do we have any of those this evening?
There are none.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is a consent agenda. These items are considered on the consent agenda so that members of the Board of Aldermen, by unanimous consent, can designate routine items to be approved by one motion. Tonight, we have approval of the October 2nd, 2023 Board of Aldermen meeting minutes, expenditures through October 12th, 2023, and the September 2023 financial statement.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business. We do not have any of that this evening, so we will move on to new business. The first item on new business is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a National League of Cities Service Line Warranty Program marketing agreement. Matt?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. City staff presented on an opportunity to partner with National League of Cities for the Serve Line Warranty Program. The board had several questions about what that might look like. Specifically, wanted to see examples of the materials that would be sent. In your packet are what that would look like minus the city logo. So if approved, we would do some further work with them to incorporate our current logo. We also have a presenter from Serve Warranty, Serve Line, to present to the board and also answer questions you may have. So instead of flying in from Pittsburgh, we're doing a Teams meeting.
And they were more than willing to fly in, but yes.
Hi, Emily, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Was everyone ready then?
Yes, we're ready. You may proceed.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me some time this evening and allowing me to join virtually from Pennsylvania. Again, my name is Emily Zalfini. I represent the National League of Cities Service Line Warranty Program by HomeServe. I always like to start with a quick background on the company I work for. So I don't work directly for the NLC. I work for a company called HomeServe. We've been in this business for actually going on 20 years now. We've been working with the NLC since 2010. And I always like to mention that in both 2013 and 2018, we won a Torch Award for marketplace ethics. Obviously, that's something we're very proud of, and we're always trying to work as hard as we can to maintain some pretty high ethical standards within our program. But what this program is really designed to do is to try and help address some of the public policy issues that are related to aging underground utility infrastructure, which is obviously starting to plague a lot of communities across the country. We know that communities like yours are always doing everything you can to maintain and upgrade all sorts of public infrastructure, but on the homeowner side, there's not really much you can do. So that's really why the National League of Cities started looking into programs like this one. They wanted to make sure that something like this would be available for everyone all across the country. So they went ahead, they did the research to hopefully make it easier on you. And of course, we're the company they chose to work with. So now what we actually do is we partner with the community. That's what allows us to make our voluntary program available for residents. And then our first goal is really just to help educate residents on their responsibilities for the water and sewer lines on their property. While at the same time, we do offer the option of getting protection on their external water lines, external sewer lines, and in-home plumbing. This is done with a completely turnkey approach, meaning we handle everything from the marketing, billing, claims, customer service, really all of it's handled by us. And there's absolutely no cost to the city to participate. No public funds are ever used in the program. One of the things that I think is most beneficial about this program is that it just kind of helps raise awareness. We always hear sort of the same story over and over again over years of speaking with multiple utilities and municipalities all around the country. And that's when a resident does have an issue with their water or sewer line, they'll call into the city, you send someone out. Oftentimes you find the issues actually on the resident's side, and there's really not much you can do to help in that case. We find, and you're probably all pretty well aware too, that a lot of homeowners don't really know or maybe don't fully understand the responsibilities for those lines. I always do admit that I fell into that category myself prior to working for HomeServe. I did have an idea that I was actually responsible for the lines, but I honestly just thought my homeowner's insurance would cover anything I would need as far as my home. So I can only imagine if I'd found out because of a major issue, then you have to do some research, find a contractor, pay for everything out of pocket. So I kind of like to think of the program almost like a free public awareness campaign for the city. Because the information that we would send out is designed to educate residents, like I said, on that portion of the line that they are actually responsible for. That way, even if no one actually enrolls into any of the protection, the city can say that you've taken a proactive approach in making sure people know their responsibilities and have some options available if they want them. Obviously, for those who do actually enroll, it offers them a little peace of mind. Essentially, for a few dollars a month, they're transferring the risk of their lines to us. Then if they have any issue, whether it's a broken, cracked, or leaky pipe, tree root penetration, clog that needs to be cleared, whatever it might be, they just give us a call. We have US-based call centers. They're available 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year. And we work with local area contractors to make all of our repairs. So we think that's another thing that's really, really important. We only use local area contractors. We want to keep the money within your local community as best we can, but also we expect them to be well aware of any codes or requirements or anything at all that might be unique in the area. So we really expect them to get the job done, not just to our standards, but to the city standards as well. When it comes to the selection of the contractors, we do let our partners be as involved or uninvolved in that as you would like, but no matter what, we do go through our own vetting. So we make sure that they meet all state and local requirements. And then we also go as far as running background checks and drug screenings, just to try and make sure that the people we work with are people residents are going to feel comfortable having come to their home. As for those contractors, they don't pay us anything to join our network. We don't tell them what they can charge. They can still charge us their standard rates. So then on the homeowner side of things, they would have 3 completely separate, completely voluntary options for protection. So there's one for the external water line, one for the external sewer line, and a third for their in-home plumbing and drainage. The 2 external lines, they're set up pretty much identically as far as how the coverage itself works. It is tailored to the portion of the line where the homeowner is actually responsible. But what somebody would receive if they enrolled into either one of those would be up to $8,500 of protection per incident. There are no deductibles, no service fees, no annual or lifetime limits, and we do not limit the number of claims they can file in a calendar year. The third option really just picks up where those 2 leave off, and that's the in-home plumbing. For that, we offer up to $3,000 per incident. So that would be for any water, sewer, or drain line in the home. It does include something that might be embedded under a slab or a basement floor, as well as something simple like a clogged toilet. Again, no service fees, no deductibles, no annual or lifetime limits. Basically, when this was put together, it was decided they didn't want, let's say, $100 service fee or something like that to stop somebody from giving us a call so they can go ahead and get their issue taken care of as quickly as possible. And of course, people tend to be a lot more proactive when they don't have to search around for a contractor or worry about paying a ton of money out of pocket. I always like to point out that it is not a reimbursement program. So the way it would work is if someone's enrolled with us and they have any issue, they give us a call. We set them up with a local contractor, send the contractor to them. And then once the job is complete, we actually pay the contractors directly. So no money is exchanging hands there between the homeowner and the contractor generally. One of the features of the program I always like to make sure that I go over is how we actually market, because that's really the meat of the agreement between my company and the city. So we really only market by direct mail. There's no telemarketing, no door-to-door. We try not to bombard people with too much mail. We have a maximum of 3 mail campaigns each year. Each campaign does consist of 2 separate mailings. So an initial letter goes out, and then 2 to 4 weeks later, an almost identical reminder letter goes out. Those letters are at least starting off as being educational. Again, they just let the resident know what portion of the line is actually their responsibility. We do let them know that the city is working with us to make the program available, but we make it very clear that it's coming from an outside company and not from the city itself. So we direct them to contact us with any questions or interest in the program. Even if they want to be removed from the mailing list, they can give us a call. We'll take them off the mailing list. That's fine. But the city's main role in the partnership does have to do with the marketing, like I mentioned. So really to help us to introduce the program to residents, to get people to just open the letters and read them, we ask for the city logo on some of our marketing material, specifically the outer envelope. Like I said, that gets people to actually open it and read it. The more people who read it, the more who enroll, the better we can maintain the pricing and the protection levels, and the better we can build up a local contractor area as well. But because we ask for the use of the logo, we also ask for review and approval from the city before each campaign. So 3 times a year approximately, we would send over all of the marketing material, usually via email, give you a chance to take a look at it. All of our messaging is flexible. We'll work with you on it. Once we get an approval from the city, we let you know exactly when we'll mail, so you know right around the time the homeowners will actually get the information in the mail. And really the key is that if for any reason the city does not give us the approval for each campaign, we just don't mail anything. We think it's really important that anything that's attached to the city's name, you obviously have the final say in whether it's going to mail. Also, we know that you know your residents a lot better than we would. So we think that you should have a say in what goes out in that actual messaging. Now, one of the main concerns that we generally do here is, because of the logo, is there going to be a ton of confusion? Are we going to get a ton of calls, basically? And it wouldn't be realistic for me to tell you that no one will call. We all know that there's someone that will call about anything that's new. But we do a few things to try and alleviate that before it starts. It does tend to die down on its own after the initial mail campaign goes out and people have seen it. But we offer customized press releases, web banners, basically things that you can use in any media of your choice. We can help put some of those out for you. Just letting residents know who we are, what we do, our contact information, making sure that they're aware, the city's aware of it too, and letting them know that they'll get more in the mail shortly. So as of today, we do have over, as I mentioned, 1,000 partners across the U.S. That currently includes 44 in Missouri. And I know that that was quite a bit of information. We have saved Missouri residents over $15 million in repair costs so far in our time there. Obviously, we would love for you as well to approve the program and go into our marketing agreement with us so that it's available for your residents as well. And again, I know that was quite a bit of information. I appreciate everyone listening to me patiently. Did anyone have any questions or thoughts, anything I can help with?
Emily, thank you for your presentation. If you'll hold just a moment, we'll see if the board has any questions. Any questions?
Rachel, you've mentioned programs like this before. Is this something you're familiar with?
I I've never been around one that like partners with cities like this, but as a real estate agent, I'm familiar with sewer line coverage. And I think the prices are lower than what the average person gets for sewer line coverage with their insurance company. And it's true, most people don't know that they should have it. And so then it, ends up falling back on us. I think it's a great program. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great program too. I actually, my full-time job is warranty, so I'm familiar with how important warranty can be at times. What's the turnaround time from when a homeowner calls, and then that actual turnaround time from when you contact them and then they show up at the home?
So we like to ideally have the contractor scheduled to come to the home within 3 hours of the phone call and on site within 24 hours. Of course, we can escalate things depending on the severity of the situation. And it's not always perfect, but within 24 hours on site is what we go for.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board?
Did you say you try to use local people here in town for the service?
Yes. Yep, we would use local contractors. We just make sure that they meet all state and local requirements before we go with them.
Okay, well, do they have a sign up or something that to get on the books?
Yeah.
I'd say?
So basically, the way that it would work in general is if you all decide to approve of the program, we'll start getting the ball rolling on the back end. If you have any recommendations for contractors, we're always happy to receive those from you, and we'll start with those contractors, start reaching out. Otherwise, they kind of do a search within a certain radius as close as possible first, and then they'll move out if they need to, and just sort of start contacting contractors that qualify.
Of the 44 partners to date, maybe just for the past year, how many claims have been submitted?
You know what? Give me just a second here. I can take a quick look. Bear with me, sorry.
It's okay.
The Teams slows my computer down a little bit.
You're fine.
All right. In Missouri, it looks like, okay, total number of claims there. You said were you asking the last year?
Yeah, January to today.
Okay, it says, and I believe this is the total,
If you don't have it, that's okay. I was just curious.
yeah, and I apologize. It's just showing
Okay.
me the actual total number of claims. So there were 20,000 claims in the history of the program there, but I don't have within the past year on this system.
That's
Sorry
okay.
about that.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions, board?
Have we spoken to any of the surrounding cities? Do they have any feedback, Odessa or Lexington or anybody? No?
All right, Emily, thank you so much for taking time out and coming on Teams and doing the presentation for us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much again for having me. Let me know if you need anything at all or have any questions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, if there's no action being taken, I will move on to the next item.
So, can we take action?
Yes, you can.
I make a motion to approve the agreement with National League of Cities regarding the service line warranty program.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with National League of Cities Service Line Warranty Program. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the mayoral appointment of J.R. McLennan and Levi Messer to the Board of Appeals. So, as you know, we have a Board of Appeals, and we have two people, their term was up, so these are just two new people to roll on to make the board complete. The other two rolled off. And they wanted to come tonight, but I told them they didn't have to.
I make a motion to approve the mayoral appointment of J.R. McClellan and Levi Messer to the Board of Appeals.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the mayoral appointment of J.R. McLennan and Levi Messer to the Board of Appeals. I guess I should have said J.R. is an engineer for Urban Lab KC, architect, engineer type person, and Levi Messer is a construction worker. He owns his own construction business. So. Next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action for.
We voted, did we?
Oh, did you? Oh, wow. I am, okay. I am lacking sleep. Don't put that in the record, though, okay? All right, let me back up. Did you make a motion?
I did.
Yeah,
Okay,
Tracy
who did the second?
Tracy.
Second. We have a motion and a second for the mayoral appointment of J.R. and Levi Messer for the Board of Appeals. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the mayoral reappointment of Terry Griffin, Tina May, and Eric Mitchell to the Park Board. These three people, their terms were up, and what's that? In July, yes. And it's been hard tracking them down to get them to ask if they wanted to recommit, and they all said yes finally. So this is just a reappointment for these three.
I'll make a motion to approve the reappointment.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second for the reappointment of Terry Griffin, Tina May, and Eric Mitchell to the Park Board. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a resolution authorizing the city clerk to destroy certain records in accordance with the records retention policy. Kim?
Yes, I'm sorry, I have a little bit of laryngitis
You're fine.
going on, so this is just our annual request for records that have met the retention policy guidelines and to be able to send them to the shredder and dispose of them properly. The list is attached of the records that we are requesting, and I did give you a correction on the finance. It says 2019 and 2020, and it's actually 2021 only, okay?
Okay.
You'll see the asterisk.
Everyone see that,
on
the
your
paper in front of them?
paper.
It's the only correction on there. Just an annual request, right?
Is this a
Yes.
ordinance
This
though?
is, that's not.
It's just, it's
Just
a resolution.
It's a
But,
resolution.
so, and like going, like, more recently, are you mostly electronic, or, I mean, will you continue to keep paper records that will,
Well, we have a little bit of electronic records that we're keeping right now, but we have a lot of paper still. And we're going to try to transition to electronic records, but it's going to be a process, I believe.
It's due to so many years of paper records and
Yes,
now finally getting caught up on it, correct?
yes,
And manpower to do it.
yes.
Yes.
make a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the city clerk to destroy records in accordance with the retention policy?
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the city clerk to destroy records in accordance to the records retention policy. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding residential solid waste collections within the city limits of Oak Grove. Who's got that one? Matt?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Our current ordinance only allows for solid waste collections to occur on Mondays and Tuesdays of each week. The city's been contacted by a solid waste provider here in the city, indicating that that restriction is a burden on them, and it creates a burden for them to expand their services. In order to do so, they would either need to hire more drivers, which would be prohibitive for them, or expanding the days that they can collect routes beyond just 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. And looking at surrounding cities, for those cities that don't provide solid waste service or for those cities that don't bid out in contract for the entire city. Most cities do not have restrictions. Grand Valley, Buckner, Kearney, Lone Jack, Raytown, Grandview, Lexington, all allow solid waste providers to operate without restrictions. Blue Springs is Monday through Saturday. Wanted to bring that to the board's attention, and if possible, if the board wanted to direct staff to look at the solid waste ordinance to amend it, or to simply keep it as is, or to possibly expand it. So with that, I'm happy to answer questions the board may have.
Thank you, Matt.
So we'll think about amending it for the whole week then, or just none, no dates at all?
Yeah, so, you know, the trash company that contacted us, it's Monday and Tuesday, they asked for one extra day to allow them to expand, but that may be just a temporary measure until they need to expand again. The only exception that we currently have in the city is White Oaks. That collects on Friday. The difference there is that White Oaks HOA subdivision, they provide it for the entire, entire subdivision. It's all Friday. So there's only one provider for the entire subdivision. They collect all in one day, which is Friday. I'm sorry, Jim, did you have another question? I apologize.
Yeah, well, you asked how
Well,
long.
I was just asking how long this has been on the books. Has it been on there for a while?
2009.
Huh?
2009, this code was amended to restrict to Mondays and Tuesdays. Before that, it was open.
Yeah, but that's a long,
He was probably spearheading the efforts.
that's a long time.
Yeah, we looked at the old minutes, and unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of detail, because I'm kind of the same way. It's always nice to understand why
Why you guys voted
someone
that
made a
way.
decision, especially given that, I mean, it's not like we were creating new ordinances for, I mean, it was 2009, we already had established, so someone felt the need to make that change. It'd be nice to know why, but on the other hand, I don't think it makes sense to restrict. We don't say you can only pour concrete Monday and Tuesdays in Oak Grove.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of things that we don't restrict like that, and so I think I'd be open to. Originally, I was thinking Monday through Friday, but then I think it sounds, if I say why restrict it and then restrict the weekend, that's kind of
Yeah.
contradictory. But I still probably would still lean toward Monday through Friday for me. But
I think sometimes that cities do it so that there's not trash cans setting out Monday through Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
And they do it to slow down the traffic of those big trucks. But you're
well, they
right, we don't,
though.
but.
So it sounds like they don't do it.
Yeah,
According
right.
to
I said that's why maybe some cities did it, or maybe that's why Oak Grove did it, I don't know.
yeah.
Well, if you're scheduled on Tuesday, they miss you. It's next Tuesday.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I think most trash companies will still just go the same day every week. It'll
Yeah.
Just be like, one of them might go Thursday and a different one might go Wednesday. So there would be like red trash cans one day and green trash cans a different, you know what I mean?
different
Like,
areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can spread it out. Yes, Scott?
If I remember correctly, we were getting a lot of complaints about trash trucks running every day. Trash barrels always in the streets. Weekends, people were concerned about the trash trucks traveling with the parks and the neighborhoods crowded with all the extra parking. And so they're a little concerned. And that's why they, at that time, made us separate for the businesses from the regular rural pickups.
And that's why I was kind of leaning towards the weekend still, because more people are home, school's not in set.
Yeah.
I mean, during the week, so I that's why I think still Monday through Friday makes more sense, but.
A lot's changed since
There was
2009.
There was also a couple trash carriers that were not very professional and would open their liquid gate and let it leak out on the city streets. And so that cleaned up some of that as well.
What are you guys thinking?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we need to catch up.
I definitely don't think it should be Saturdays. I
Yeah.
think there's too many kids playing and things.
Well, Monday through Friday then.
So we just need to direct city staff to come back with that.
That sounded like a motion to me.
Make a motion, please. to
I'll make a
direct city
motion,
staff.
I'll make a motion to direct city staff to draw up something and come back to us with a Monday through Friday for trash.
I'll second.
Is that professional enough?
We have a motion and a second to direct city staff to change the ordinance and bring it back for the residential solid waste collection within the city limits of Oak Grove.
Yeah.
Any
And
discussion?
it's not a change to the, or not requesting a change to the motion, but I guess just a comment is, I know the way it's written now, I think, my preference would be, and I think based on the fact of no Saturdays, it word it in some way that avoids a Veterans Day on a Friday that allows a Saturday pickup.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, that's a good point.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think.
we could work on an
Yeah, that-
ordinance where if it falls on a holiday, it'd be the next, business day.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm at any discussion. Jeremy had some. Any more? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is information reports. Matt, do you have one?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Chris? Thank you. Mark?
No report, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Chief?
I would just like to say that we've received initial announcement that we were awarded the grant for the license plate readers. This is just the initial announcement that we've received it. Now it goes back to engineering with them, with Flock, to see how we install. So I will anticipate coming back sometime around the first of the year or just after the year with that purchase.
Thank you. Corey? No report. Kim? No. Scott? Rachel?
The new website looks great. So congrats to whoever worked on that. I know that's a massive undertaking, so.
Yeah.
No report.
Jeremy?
No report.
Tracy?
No report.
Pam?
No report.
I echo that's what I had wrote down was that the website looks good. So I know you guys put a lot of time and effort. That's been something you've been talking about for maybe 2 years? Maybe? Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, Kim and Tina did a lot of work on that.
Yeah. Well done. A lot of time put in. All right, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Yeah, I mean, even people work from home now.
I feel like I remember the trash
For trash service.
as Scott described it, but I can't pull it quite up, all, the memory.
Yeah.
Well, and Jeremy said they looked through minutes, so I guess it wasn't.
Yeah, it was also interesting, we talked back, as it came up, new business